So welcome to the next video lesson. It is lecture 24, engineering mechanics subjects. So let us continue about the previous topic, that is the moment of inertia of unit 4, okay, for C18 curriculum. Right. So let us by the end of this objectives on completion of this period, you will be able to calculate the moment of inertia for unsymmetrical I sections. Okay. So symmetrical I sections discuss, or let us discuss it later another problem. Okay. Now let us go to the next problem, that is unsymmetrical I sections. First of all, what is unsymmetric? Okay. So unsymmetric is nothing but not symmetric about the any of the axis or about the both axis. It can be either symmetric about either one axis or both axis. Okay. So in this case, of course, I section will be always symmetric about the y axis. Okay, centroidal y axis, it is always symmetrical. But whereas it may be symmetrical or may not be symmetrical about the x axis. Okay, right. So first of all, what is symmetric? Nothing but similarity or same. Okay, mirror of, if you cut into two halves, one half will be mirror image of the other one. Okay, it is like same, having the same area, same size, same shape, everything same. Okay, even same weight, if it is without three dimensional, it is having weight as well. So we can, but we are discussing about the area, moment of inertia of area. So we are not discussing about, let us forget about the weights. Means it will be same. Okay, so that is called as symmetry. So it, in this case, of course, that is nothing but symmetrical. Now, I sections, it is generally, as I said, that it is always symmetrical about the y-axis. Only we need to check the symmetry about the x-axis. Okay, just like your T section, that will be always symmetrical about y-axis, but never symmetrical about x-axis. That is nothing but T section. Okay, we have discussed in the previous classes. Right. Now let us see about unsymmetrical I sections. Right, always I section about y-axis symmetric, only it will be symmetrical about x-axis. I section symmetric about y-axis. Okay, I sections are unsymmetrical about x-axis, maybe or may not be. Okay, exactly. If when it become unsymmetrical, if top and bottom flanges are of different dimensions, that is one thing. Or second one is flange plates are added on one flange or both flanges of different sizes. Okay, different sizes, different thickness. They may be different size, may be different. Even both the top and bottom plates are added with plates, additional plates. Top and bottom flanges are added with plates, but they are of same dimension. It is okay. And if it is different dimensions are there, still it becomes unsymmetrical. Okay, so that's what it is said. Top and bottom flanges are different dimensions. Next one is flange plates are added on only one side. Obviously, if it is added on only one side, it will become unsymmetrical. Right? Now let us see this problem. So first of all, this is a given section, right? Moment of inertia. We need to find the moment of unsymmetrical I section. Of course, need not say that in the problem answer, need not mention about unsymmetrical. By seeing the figure itself, we can say that obviously it will be always symmetrical about y-axis, but it is by the from the figure showing itself, having bottom flange will be wider and top flange will be smaller. Okay, from this one, it is very self understood that it is a unsymmetrical about the x-axis. Okay, so in this case, so let's full screen. Okay. So it will be clear. Yeah. So it is full symmetrical about the y-axis. Okay. So if you take a x-axis, it will be obviously it will be near to your bottom fiber because more area is there. Obviously, it will be very close to more area. Centroidal axis always be nearer to having the more area. Okay, it will away from the less than because it is nothing about the centroid distribution of area. Okay, where the point where it is total entire area is assumed to be at, that is nothing but centroid. Right. So like that, it will be centroidal x-axis will be around here. Okay. About y axis already discussed that it is symmetrical. Need not discuss about the y axis. Right. Now see, let us see the dimensions. The half flange 120 by 20. First of all, how can you say that it is unsymmetrical? See the dimensions. Okay, only in this case no additional plates are there at bottom and top flanges. Only it is flanges are there with dimensions the 120 by 120. Okay, right? Okay, we have 20 by 120 is nothing but this width, and this 150 is nothing but the depth of your web. And see the bottom flange, it is 200 by 20. See this one. So even the thickness is 20 same. The width is different here. Width is 200 here, here 120. Obviously, when the same both 120 or 200 both same dimensions, it will become symmetrical. Okay, if any one is different, then that will become unsymmetrical. Any one flange, okay, the top flange or bottom flange, if it is having variation in dimensions, different sizes, top flange and bottom sizes are different, so of different size, then that will become unsymmetrical about the x axis. Right now, so this is x axis. So for which we, from with reference to this x axis, we have to find the moment of inertia. Right. So first of all, what this is, when we are saying that it is unsymmetrical about any of the axis, first we have to find the moment of centroid. Okay, without finding the centroid, we cannot find this moment of inertia. That's the basic, very clear. Okay, so first we have to find the centroid. So how to find the centroid? Right, how to find the centroid? We have already discussed in detail about to find the centroids of this type of sections, I mean eye sections in the centroid topic. Now let us see how to find once again, how to find the centroid for the unsymmetrical eye sections. Yeah, this is moment of the section. Okay, and first what we have to do, we have to divide the section into different sections. Okay, so different small sections, different regular shape sections, because as the eye section we cannot calculate, because it is in the shape of one rectangle consists of different 3 rectangles, so we cannot, as a single item we cannot calculate. So that's why we have to divide into a regular figures. This is like this is one rectangle, this is one rectangle, this is another rectangle. Right, so let us assume that they give the number. Yeah, so let us give the number. Right, so give the number. This is figure 1, and this is figure 2, and this is figure 3. We are first we have divided. Next, so what is the sizes? Size, this is 200 by 20, this is 20 by 150. Very clear sizes, no need to any alteration, that whatever the given sizes, that will be holds good. Okay, so even we are dividing in, after dividing that also the sizes will be same, top flange, web, and bottom flange. Right, so what is the area of A1? A1 is nothing but the area of bottom flange. First of all, our centroid calculation, must we have to decide the what is called a reference axis. So let us say reference axis is nothing but this one. Reference axis, bottom of your bottom fiber, bottom flange, sorry, bottom fiber, not bottom flange, bottom of your bottom flange. Okay, bottom of your flange. This is a reference axis from which what is the centroidal distance, centroidal axis distance. That is nothing but y bar. Okay, we call it as a y bar. We have to first calculate the y bar, because it is symmetric, as we already discussed that it is symmetric about y axis. No need to directly no need to calculation of x bar at all, because it is this axis dividing this figure 1, figure 2, figure 3 equally, means it is passing through the centroidal y axis of the individual sections also. Right, so in that case, what is the x bar? Simply x bar is equal to, if we assume that this is the reference axis. Okay, if you think that this is the reference axis, from here what is the centroidal distance? Very simple, is a rectangle where it lies. Half the distance, that is nothing but 200 by 2, nothing but 100 mm. If it is, this is the reference axis. Right, like that you can directly find the x bar, no issue at all, because it is symmetric about the y axis. Only thing is that you have to find the y bar, because it is unsymmetrical about the x axis. For that one, what we have to do, first calculate the A1, area of section 1. First of all, how to calculate the y bar? let us write the formula first. Let us see what we need it. Y bar is equal to what? A1 y1 plus so on a2 y2 plus a3 y3 divided by a1 plus dash 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 dash. If it are number of, that depends on number of figures sections we are divided. In this case we can say that a1 y1 plus a2 y2 plus a3 y3 divided by a1 plus a2 plus a3, right? So that is nothing but formula. Okay, so to substitute this one, what we need? So we need the a1. Okay, so what is the a1? A1 is nothing but 200 by 20, right? 200 by 20, 200 is the width and the thickness is 20. And similarly, a2 is equal to 20 by 150, a3 is equal to 120 by 20. That's all we got it. A1, A2, A3, we got it, right? Next thing is that y1. This is where we need to some concentration here. Remaining it is a1, a2, a3. It is very simple, regular geometrical figures. So directly you can calculate very easily. No explanation is required at all, right? But whereas this y1, we need some concentration. We have to concentrate on this, because if you make a mistake, there is every possibility that you make a mistake at the initial stages of right. Now let us see what is a1. A1 is nothing but, so centroid of figure 1 from the reference axis. Distance of centroidal axis from the reference axis. Y1. Right. So y1 is equal to what? So this is nothing but this is a1. A1 is centroid is lies at what distance? At a distance of d by this 20 by 2 means 10 from here. Our reference axis also here on. Okay, that's why it is y1 is equal to 20 by 2. 20 by 2. Y1 is equal to 20 by 2. Right. Y1 is equal to 20 by 2. Okay, that is equal to 10. Similarly, y2 is nothing but 2 refers to figure 2. Okay, the centroid, where centroid lies, so it will, what is the height? Height is 150. Where centroid lies? At the midpoint. Okay, so from here it is 75. Okay, so from here to what? From here to here we need it. That is nothing but y2. Okay, this is y2. How to get it? From here to here it is 75, because it is 150 by 2. Where centroid of rectangle lies with half distance. Half distance is nothing but 150 by 2. From here to here it is 150. Sorry, 75. But we need from here. So that is 75 plus 20. From here to here. Right? This is first one 75 is nothing but 150 by 2. And this one is from here means it is 20. 75 plus 20. Right? Okay, this is nothing but 75 plus 20 means 90. Y2 is equal to 90. Y3 is equal to how much? Where it is 3? Figure 3, centroid again. This is center rectangle. So from here to here. There is nothing but y3. Y3 is equal to how much? How to calculate y3? Y3 is equal to here to here means we need here to here it is again 20 by 2, because rectangle 20 by 2, right? 20 by 2, and here to here it is 150 plus 20. 20 plus 150 plus 20 by 2. 20 by 2 means 10. 10 plus 150, 160. 160 plus 20, 180. So it is nothing but 180 m. Right? Total 13 is equal to 180 m. 180 m. Now calculate the y bar. Substitute a1, y1, a2, y2, a3, y3. Right? Calculate the y bar. If you calculate the y bar, so this is the calculation. This section is symmetrical about y-axis. x bar is equal to 100 by 2. Okay, unsymmetrical axis. So as top and bottom flanges are not equal, because that's what we have discussed, right? We are not equal size. This is 120, this is 200. So not equal. Not equal means unsymmetric. So therefore, y bar is to be calculated. Right? How to calculate the y bar? Ox and yy as a reference axis is the reference axis. Okay, of course we know we don't need oy, because already we have decided we already said that x bar is equal to 200 by 200 mm. It's already decided. We are already calculated. No need of oy bar, but we need it to calculate the moment of inertia. That's what it is referred. A1, x1, y1. Of course, in this one it is he said that x1 is equal to 100 mm. Little bit it is not required actually. If you think that we can directly write it, this is not required. Okay, only y is enough for us. This is not required. Okay, even though it is unsymmetric, because it is symmetrical about y-axis, this x1 x2 x3 is not required. Okay, so y1 is equal to 10 mm, because again it is y1 is equal to 10 mm bottom. Already we have discussed how what is 10 mm, how to get it to 10 mm. And similarly y1 is equal to 10 mm, y2 is equal to 95, that is 20 plus 150 by 2, that is equal to 95 mm from the bottom, right? And similarly for the y3 is equal to 20 plus 150 plus 20 by 180 from the bottom. Already we have discussed how to calculate this y1, y2, y3. Of course, forget about this x1, x2, x3, so we don't need it, right? So we don't need all this x1, x2, x3. Now y bar is equal to what? Sum of a y bar divided by a1 y1 plus a2 y3 plus a3 y3 divided by a1 plus a2 plus a3. Right? That's nothing but your this one. Okay. So if we calculate, substitute every values, so I will get y bar is equal to 80.53 mm from the bottom. Okay. 80.53 mm from the bottom. From here it is 80.5. Okay. Right? This is 80.5. 80.53. 80.5. Okay, so 80.53 from the bottom. Okay, so this is right. So if you want, we can calculate from the top also. But the total 190 minus 80 is nothing but 190 minus 80, it is 110. So 110 less than 110 means 110 means 109. 109.47. Okay, so 109.47. So 190 minus 80.53, not 9.47. Right, from here to here it is 109.47. This may be required for some cases, so we have to better to put this in the figure. Okay, so later that will become very easy. Okay, now what we need? So to calculate, we need to calculate the centroid part is over. Once you write this one means centroid part is over. We are calculated centroid from the bottom as well as top, so that part is over. Now we have to calculate the moment of inertia about the x-axis. Okay, about x-axis is very important. About the x-axis, first let us calculate about x-axis. Right. So the centroid of your figure lying here, whereas centroid of your this figure one lying is here. Okay, so they are they are some distance apart, not coinciding. Okay, right? So what we need? We need the moment of inertia of this rectangle about this axis, right? That is nothing but Ixx1. Okay, Ixx1. That is nothing but moment of inertia. Total Ixx is equal to, let us write here. I will write here. Ixx of total figure is equal to Ixx1 plus Ixx2 plus Ixx3. Okay, Ixx1 plus Ixx2 plus Ixx3. Right, all three. So first of all, what is Ixx1? So this is Ixx1 figure 1. So moment of inertia of this figure 1 is equal to, right? So figure 1 is equal to how much? So moment of inertia of this figure about this axis we need, not about centroidal. About this centroidal axis nothing but just it is nothing but BD cube by 12. That's very simple. That is okay. That is about centroidal axis nothing but BD cube by 12. Okay, but we need about this axis, not about only this axis. We need about this axis means it is some distance apart and it is parallel as well as some distance. Now we can, in this case, you have to think what principle we can apply. We can apply the parallel axis theorem, right? So we can apply the parallel axis theorem. So what is the parallel axis theorem? If any moment of inertia about any axis, right? About any axis, but condition is that what is the condition? It shall be parallel to your centroidal, either of the centroidal axis. Means any another centroidal axis. It shall be parallel to about that axis. And the distance between this and this mean both centroidal axis shall be known. Okay. So if that is not, we can apply the parallel axis theorem. So what is the parallel axis theorem? So parallel axis theorem is equal to moment of inertia about any axis is equal to moment of inertia of this figure about the centroidal axis. See this one, about the centroidal axis of this figure plus area into area, product of area and the distance between the centroidal axis of the entire section or about any axis and its centroidal axis. Okay, that is nothing but this distance. This is nothing but, in this case, it is h. Centroidal axis of the entire figure and centroidal axis of the figure considered. Okay, figure under consideration. Okay, figure under consideration means we are calculating only figure 1. Okay, please remember, we are calculating moment of inertia only figure 1. Right? Now let us write the moment of inertia. So what is the moment of inertia? What is the parallel theorem? Moment of inertia of the about centroidal axis, that is nothing but b d cube by 12. So what is the b? So b is nothing but 200 into what is the d? 20 cube by 12. Okay, so 20 cube by 12 plus ah square, product of area and square of the distance. Area is nothing but again 200 by 20. I will write here 200 by 20 into h square. H square is nothing but from here to here. From here to here, how to find the distance? This distance is 10 because 20 here centroid lies. From here also it is 10. Here also it is 10 because it is a symmetrical one. This rectangle is also symmetrical. It lies at a distance of half. Half means 20 by 2. Okay, 10. 10 mm from here, 10 mm from here, right? So this will be 10 from here to here. It is 10. And what is the here to here? That we need to calculate from this one. Okay, directly from this one it is 150. We will not get it. So we have to see the centroid of the section, right? Centroid is right. Centroid section. All right. One more thing also we can do. Instead of calculating this one and this one separately, we can calculate this is centroid of this one. Up to here it is 80.53. We know it. If you deduct this portion, we'll get this one. Okay. To get this one, so from this total 80.53, deduct this centroidal distance from here. That is 20 by 2. You will get the centroid distance h. That is nothing but 80.53 minus 10 square, h square, right? That's how you have to calculate the moment of inertia of the first figure. Similarly, Ixx2, but these calculations are already written here PPT, but if you I will write with my hand so I can have some experience writing into the chalkboard like that. Moreover, so it will be you can concentrate on what I am writing so that it will be easy to understand. Okay, that is only the reason I am writing again. Otherwise, this already all these calculations are there in the PPT itself. Okay, that type neatly type, no issue. Now let us see Ixx2. Ixx of 2 is the again the centroid of this entire section, and centroid means where it lies, somewhere here it lies. Okay, where the distance of 150 by 2 means 75, from here to here 75. What is this distance? This distance is only where it is 80.53 minus 20, nothing but 60.53. 60.53. This distance is 60.53, but where our centroid lies, that lies at a distance of 75. This is h1, let us say. Okay, this is 75, means above our centroidal axis, and this one lies. Okay, so how to find the distance between these two? That is nothing but h2. Okay, for the calculation of this one, we need this distance. How to calculate that one? Very simple. 75 minus 60.53. That's very simple to calculate. Right? Now let us moment of inertia. Again, this also we have to use the parallel axis theorem, because this centroidal axis is here, this centroidal axis is here. There are some distance apart. Again, use the parallel axis theorem. So how to use the parallel axis theorem? So parallel axis theorem says that moment of inertia about any axis is equal to moment of inertia about centroidal axis, that is nothing but 20 into 150 cube, right, divided by 12. This is nothing but moment of inertia of this rectangle to about its centroidal axis, means this about this centroidal axis. Plus you have to transfer this moment about this moment of inertia about this to this. That is nothing but parallel axis theorem, also called as transfer axis theorem. To transfer the moment of inertia about this axis. So how to calculate? Again, calculate the product. So product is nothing but 20 into 150 area into, now calculate the distance between these two. That is nothing but 75 minus 60.53. Okay, so this is how you have to calculate. What is 75? From here to here the centroid is 75, right? And it is from where is this section centroid lies at a distance of 60.53. That is nothing but 60 point. How do you use 60.53? 80.53 from the bottom minus 20, you will get the 60.53, right? This 75 minus 60.53, that is nothing but your distance between the centroidal axis of the figure 2 and centroidal axis of the entire section, capital XX, right? Similarly, Ixx of the figure 3, sorry, is equal to, again use the parallel axis theorem, because it is this central axis is here, the moment this central axis is here, very far away. Again use the parallel axis theorem. What is the parallel axis theorem? Moment of inertia of the section about its centroidal axis, that is nothing but BD cube by 12. That's what I am writing, 120 into 20 cube divided by 12. This is nothing but moment of inertia of this rectangle about this axis, it's the centroidal axis, but we need about this axis. For that one, you have to use the parallel transfer axis theorem or parallel axis theorem. How to calculate? So that is nothing but this moment of inertia of centroidal axis plus AH square. Area is nothing but again 120 into 20 area. Calculate the H. H is nothing but from here to this distance, centroidal distance. Okay, this is nothing but H3. How to calculate the H3? Right, from here to here we know that from here to here 10.5747. From here to here, how to calculate? Up to top of this one is 10.47. We need up to center of this one. How much this one? This one is nothing but 20 by 2. Okay, So this is nothing but 20 by 2 means 10 mm. Okay, this is small gap is nothing but 10 mm. So that is nothing but how to calculate this one? 109.47 minus 10. 109.47, sorry, 107.47 minus 10 square. This is nothing but H3. This is nothing but H2. And this is nothing but H1. Right? This one is A2. This one is A3. This one is A1. Right? So this one is nothing but moment of inertia about its centroidal axis, about this centroidal axis. This one is nothing but moment of inertia about this centroidal axis. This one is a moment of inertia its individual centroidal axis. Right? Now you got the Ixx1, Ixx2, Ixx3. Now add all the figure, all 1, 2, 3. Then you will get the moment of inertia of the entire section. That's how you have to calculate. Now let us see what is how to calculate, how it is done. Now let us see. Moment of inertia Xx is equal to Ixx plus Ay bar square. That is what we have discussed. So 200 into 20 by 12 plus 4000. 200 into 20 is nothing but 4000. 80.53 minus 10 square. Similarly, 20 into 150 cube plus by 2 plus 300. 95 minus 85, 80.53. This we have written it different form. Don't get confused that who is wrong. Both are correct only. So instead of this one, what we have written? So we have written 75 minus 60.53. Okay, 75 minus 65.3. Here it is 20 less. Here is 20 less. That's 20 is nothing but this one. Okay. If you calculate this one and this one, both we have written this one. I have explained while explaining. I have explained this one. Okay, means I am taken from here. Whereas in this case, it is taken from the here. That is only the difference. Whatever way you take, you will take. It depends on your. If you have a concept, you can play anyway. Okay, not only you have to write like this, like that, like that. You can write anyway. But thing is that ultimately the H shall be same. Right? If you write anyway, then you will get the same. You should get the same answer. That is only the reason. Right? Similarly, this one also it is okay, no issue from here to here. But thing is that again here, I have written in a different way. He has taken from the bottom, but I have taken from the centroid. Okay, so both are correct. No one is wrong. But for the sake of avoid some confusion, maybe he has taken only one reference axis, that is only bottom one. Okay, to avoid the confusion, he has taken only from the bottom. But what I am saying that you have to be clear with the concept. If you are clear with concept, wait, whatever may the reference axis, wherever may the reference axis, you can calculate. Okay, right? So you have to get the concept first. Clear about your concept. The concept is nothing but centroid of your individual section to the centroid of your entire section. That distance we want. This is if you call it as H, that will call it as H, Y, someone will call it as H, someone will call it as X, Y, someone will call it as some other term. Okay, different notations you can use. No issue, no, there is no standard notations are there to call it this one. So you can use any notation. But thing is that the distances is nothing but that H or Y or whatever you call it. Right? So that's what in this case it is just very specified that it is y minus y bar or something y bar minus y. So I don't want to use these formulas. Okay, that unnecessarily confuses me. Okay, so I don't want to use it. Let us say whatever the dimension either in the x-axis or in the y-axis, along the y-axis, I want to say we use only one term, that is h. That's all. Okay, so ah square, whatever it means. Now let us see this one, what we have written, what we are getting. So it is, even though if you calculate this one and this one, the difference is same. It is 95 minus 80. This again, you will get same answer. Here, this if you deduct this one, if you deduct this one, both are one and same answer. Similarly, what I have written, what it is here, let us discuss. Okay, it is, he has taken from the bottom to here, it is centroid, it is 180. Okay, total 180 minus, you are deducted this one. Whereas what we have done, so we have taken from here to here, that is nothing but 109 point something 47. This is nothing but 109.47. 109.47 minus 10 mm. Now calculate both you will get same answer. No way at all. There is no question of any deviation. There cannot be any deviation. Right? So what is 107.47 is nothing but 107.47 minus 10 is nothing but 99.47. Okay. Right. Similarly, 180 minus 80.53, 99.47, because both are one and same, written in a different form from different reference axes. Okay, and different way of calculating the distances. Both are same. Okay. So like that, you have to calculate the moment of inertia of this figure. That is 50. I got to the 50.11 into 10 to the power of 6 mm to the power of 6. You have one calculation of all this. So one more thing. So calculation also very important. Okay. Of course, by this time you should be able to very much clear about your using calculators, because the subject is in second year. So by this time you should have an idea how to operate the calculators. Okay, calculators. Okay. So first it is very simple. Even the calculators nowadays, calculators entire this equation you can write in one way. Okay, one go you can write equation like this, whatever way that is written here, you can write it 200 into 20 cube divided by 12 plus 400 into, not even 400, 200, sorry, what is that, 200 into 20 into within brackets 80.53 minus 10 to the power square. You can write entire equation in one go. Even in one equation you can write, if you, okay, plus again 20 into 150 cube by 12 plus 300, like this you can one go you can write it. But see that some calculations, it is numerical, what is the number of digits restriction is there. You may or may not get complete these three, but at least you can get two. I'm very much sure that at least you can do it two calculations, right? So like that you have to calculate. Simplification, that is rests on you. So how to simplify it, right? So your answer is 50.11 into 10 to the power 6. But be careful that simplification, even though if you are written everything same, so if you are doing mistake in this one calculation, still you lose the marks. Okay, so sometimes the examiner may or may not check entire your calculations. Even if at all, if your answer is right, most of the cases you will get the maximum marks. Okay, so whereas if your calculations everything is correct or answer is wrong, then there is a possibility of losing the marks, more marks. So that's why you have to be very much careful about the calculation. Now let us go to the moment of inertia about the y-y axis. Since the section is symmetric about y-y axis, moment of inertia about y-y axis of the entire section, this is nothing but entire section, is equal to moment of inertia of the y1 figure 1 plus figure 2 y2 so y2 all are these coincides. This individual centroid, this figure 1 centroid is nothing but this one only. Okay, like this it will be. Okay, I'll take a pointer. So individual centroid also is nothing but this one. This centroid will be this one, and this centroid will be this one. But centroid is also, but total entire section centroid also this one. It means passes through all. This means are all one and same. Okay, they are coinciding with each other, right? That's why the h term, because in parallel axis here it is a h square, this term becomes 0 for all the 1 2 3 3 figures, right? So when this is becoming 3 figures 0, x bar is equal to 0, then it's nothing but moment of inertia of this section about this centroidal axis. This is about this centroidal axis plus moment of inertia about this figure about this centroidal axis plus this one. Okay, like that you can calculate. Very simple way I can calculate, because being a symmetry, not only symmetry we can say. So it is passing through the section. Okay, your y axis of the individual figures and y axis of the entire section is coinciding. Okay, so in the previous case also it is symmetry about the x axis need not be say that it is only BDQ by X. You cannot say that symmetry only, not only symmetry concept, it is passing through the section. Okay, in that case it is nothing but 20 into 200 cube is nothing but, in this case if it is a reverse one, it is just rotated in 90 degrees. Okay, rotated in 90 degrees, width will become depth will become width, right? So from this one if you say that this will become width and this will become depth, that's why it is 20 into 200 cube. Don't think that it is some mistake is there. No, not mistake, it is. So db cube by 12, we can say that it is a db cube. It is a b for this figure, it is b, and this one is d, right? Previously about this axis this will be b, this will be d, right? About another axis also the b, d and d will be same, but moment of inertia become db cube by 12, not bd cube, it is a db cube by 12. That's why it is 20 into 200 cube by 12. Similarly this one 150 into 20 cube by 12, and similarly this one is 20 into 120 cube by 12. Here it is some 12 is missing here. Okay, so here it is 12 is missing. So for this figure 12 is missing. Here it is 12 is there. Here it is 12 is there. db cube by 12, db cube by 12, db cube by 12 of figure 1, 2, 3 respectively. Right. So use the calculator. So calculate the moment of inertia of the y axis. Okay. So results, and at the end of the results, you better to tabulate all the results, whatever asked in the question. So better to write at the end of the answers, at the end of the writing your answers, calculation. Right. So let us. So what we have done. So let us summarize what we have discussed today's class. So what we have discussed. So we have discussed about the. We have solved a problem, numerical problem for a unsymmetrical eye section. Okay, first of all, unsymmetric means what is unsymmetric? Unsymmetrical eye section. So generally eye sections, T sections are symmetric about always. Eye sections are symmetric about the y axis. Generally y axis symmetry means, of course, one more thing, it is always term, it is always again sometimes it may mislead you. Okay, so sometimes there is a possibility of misleading you. Mislead means it is eye section means like this here eye section. If at all if you kept your eye section so like this, then it is again misleads you. By the condition, some places you may require like this. It is like a H section. Okay, this is like a H section. For a H section, if it is like this, it is I section. I section is rotated in kept in 190 degrees, rotated in 90 degrees. So in this case, this figure is a y axis means this is the y axis. Okay, so you can't rotate the your x axis only. It is y axis means vertical axis. X axis means this is the x axis, right? So if it is in this case, what happens? This is xx means y become xx become y. Okay, so that's what happens. It is in this case it is symmetric about x axis. Means you have to consider the orientation of your section also. Okay, not only blindly always say that it is symmetric about always about y section always. We cannot say generalize this, because the orientation of our section also important. Okay, in this case the section is oriented in different, the same section, the same thing, it is oriented in different way. Okay, so in that case, that again the axis changes, xx become y becomes xx, right? In this case in this orientation, For example, a specific in this orientation, so this becomes, it is symmetric about x-axis. Okay, same section, I'm changing the orientation. Of course, this section cannot be oriented in this way because it is this is more and this is less. It cannot be oriented like this. But if a symmetric section is there, symmetric about both axes, then we can orient that section this way. Okay, so this is may not be possible, of course, right? Of course, let us at this your level, I mean diploma level, you need not worry about this much deep into that. Okay, so generally it is generally we can say that it is symmetric about y axis, like that we can go, right? Now, so where we are symmetric, we are discussing about the symmetry. Okay, so in symmetry, so it is symmetric about y axis. So that's why it is calculation of moment of inertia about y axis becomes very easy, because so it is passing the moment of inertia, I mean centroidal axis of the entire section, that is capital YY, is passing through the centroidal YY axis of the individual figures. Both are coinciding. This centroidal figures where it lies, 120 by 2 means 60. Yes. Again, it is where centroid of figure 1, YY centroidal YY axis lies. It is at this 120 200 by 10 2. It is nothing but 100 mm, means again center. Okay, it is both are coinciding. That's why it is calculation of moment of inertia becomes very easy, as individual moment of inertia about centroidal y-axis. If you add all of them, you will get the moment of inertia of the entire section. Okay, no need to apply parallel axis theorem. Even you apply, you will get the h is equal to the term h becomes 0. Okay, it shall get 0. If you get a 0, then only your concepts are got the concept. If you don't get the h is equal to 0, even for this IYY also, it means that you are made, you are not not correct. Your concepts are not correct. Okay, so think about it and you have to calculate. Right? That's what you have to remember. Next, so IXX. So we have to apply the parallel axis theorem. So calculate the moment of inertia using the parallel axis theorem. Okay, so like this you have to calculate the moment of inertia of the unsymmetrical I section, right? So let us, I will once again I will quickly slideshow faster way. So this is what we have discussed. When a section is said to be unsymmetrical, top and bottom flanges are different of different dimensions. Flange plates are added on only one side. Okay, one flange. Right. So this is a given section. So this is 120, this is 200. So it is unsymmetrical about the x axis. So again, unsymmetrical about the x axis means we have to find the y bar. Okay. So how to find the y bar? So we have discussed about how to find the y bar. So that is nothing but a1 y1 plus a2 y3 plus a3 y3 divided by a1 plus a2 plus a3. So using that one, we have calculated a y bar. So it is nothing but calculation of y bar. So y bar is equal to 80.5. Right. So in this case, this is x1, x2, x3 is not required. Okay, because it is symmetrical about y axis. No requirement of x1, x2, x3. Just to calculate y1, y2, y3. That's all. Now using for to calculate the moment of inertia about xx, use the parallel axis theorem. So calculate this h1, h2, h3. So that is nothing but distances between the centroids of each section about the centroid of the from the centroid of the entire section. That is nothing but h1, h2, h3. Right? For the figure 1, figure 2, figure 3 respectively. Okay. So after calculation h1, h2, h3. Now substitute. This is nothing but general formula. Moment of inertia about centroidal axis of the each figure. This is nothing but small xx. It shall be small xx plus ah square. Right? Ah square. h1, h2, h3. Okay. So like this, you have to calculate the moment of inertia of the unsymmetrical I sections. Okay. Now let us stop here.